Every club. Every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to your daily Brighton podcast, brought to you by the Global Sports Podcasting Network. It is me, Joe. I'm in the exact same place as I was before because we're shooting 2 episodes in one evening. And you are tuning in to the league leaders. Yes, the league leaders. Stop the count. We're ready to just take the trophy now. So, I'm joined today for the crossover pod by Man United's finest, Niall. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks very much for the intro. Very happy to be here.
No problem, mate. Anytime. And we are also joined by the man, the myth, the Danny Welbeck enjoyer, Blessed Shibamba. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I love that intro, Joe.
Mate, it's just...
That's Danny Welbeck there now.
Man. He's just called you, asking when you're recording, mate.
Yeah, let me just tell him I'm off. Offline tonight. Sorry, guys.
Okay, so segment 1, we're going to be asking Niall how he thinks the game went on. Is it Friday, wasn't it? Opening game, wasn't it? Yeah. How he thought the game went and how he believes that they're going to beat us. And then in the second segment, we're going to be talking a little bit about how Brighton are going to spank them. Easy as you like. And then in the third segment, we are bringing back the combined 11. Hopefully, this time it's a bit more realistic because before we were somehow comparing with Everton and they managed to have 6 people in there. That now we could be a bit more realistic. Okay? So, Niall.
Yeah.
How do you think the game went on Friday, mate?
Yeah, we discussed it on our match review Monday over at the Daily Man United. It was a bit of a ropey start, I think, for the first 10, 15, 20 minutes. But then kind of ended up playing a decent bit of football. Still didn't have a recognised striker, so we were playing this kind of strange box midfield that we've played against City a couple of times. So a lot of good players on the pitch, but I'm not really too sure about the structure of it. Created a few chances. Bruno probably could have put a few away early on in the first half. And then, yeah, I mean, our new Dutch hero, Josh Zirkzee, came up with the goods at the end. So we were all buzzing with that, to be fair. So overall, can't really complain with the 3 points. Had a pretty horrible defeat to Fulham in Old Trafford last year. So it's, got off to a good start. And I think there was no real shocks at the weekend. So it's kind of good to stay within the pack, at least with you high-fired Brighton there in the first week.
Yeah, so obviously it was a 1-0 win. And you're obviously not to know this, Niall, but before we actually went live with the Daily Brighton podcast and as GSBN as a whole, we actually done sensible transfers. And
right.
Josh Zirkzee was in, I think it was mine. I'm pretty sure he was in mine.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah. So I'm a big fan, to be honest. I'm a big fan, and I'm surprised.
Did you pull that one out of? How did you hear of him before?
To be fair, it's just Twitter, really. I'm not gonna lie. I seen a couple clips of him, and then I went and done a little bit of research, and I quite like what I was seeing.
I thought you did a road trip to Italy or something and was kind of following.
No, absolutely not. But if you do actually rate the podcast 5 stars, then maybe I can do a road trip to Italy. So, okay, Niall. So, how do you think that you're going to beat us? What do you think is going to happen?
I love the way you assume that I think we're going to beat you. We've had a poor enough record against Brighton over the past couple of years. I have a lot of respect for them. I think they're a great footballing team. But yeah, I think United are slowly starting to get a bit of structure in the club in general. But I think a lot of the signings that came in as well kind of showed a level of intent of signing smart transfers rather than going for big names that are kind of washed. So I was encouraged from the performance against Fulham and also the Community Shield against City as well. I thought they did perform well for large periods of the game, even though it wasn't a full strength City side. I think because we are packing the midfield, we do have a lot of footballers in there. So I don't know if we'll be dominating possession. I think it'll be quite even, to be honest, but I think we are decent going forward. From our wide positions, Ahmad very direct player on the right wing there. And I mean, Rashford is Rashford. Like, he's capable of great things. It's just, I think, a confidence issue at the moment. So I'm looking forward to the game. I am quite optimistic about it, but I am aware of the attack that Brighton have and the team in general that they have. So I am a bit wary about certain aspects of it.
100%. Bless, I'm gonna quickly just swing it to you. What are your thoughts on? I don't know if you did watch the game on Friday, but what are your thoughts on Man United, and where do you think the threat comes from mainly for the game on the weekend?
I'll just echo a few of what Niall said. I was quite impressed with them going forward, and they do have the players. But what I did notice, they dropped off quite deep and didn't press as much as perhaps a home team might do, which is quite interesting. I don't know how that's going to play out on the weekend. But overall, yeah, they dominated most of the game, and that's quite impressive. And the new signing, of course, getting on the score sheet is an added bonus. So it was one of them. I think Fulham did give them a few scary moments, but I don't really, apart from obviously the glaring chance where Pereira should have slipped in, Iwobi it was.
Yep.
I don't think there was anything else on that really. So yeah, 1-0 probably it's a little bit flatter into Fulham. It could have been 2.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna just put my 2 pence in here. I think the chances, they didn't create a ton of clear-cut chances, but I feel like the chances, the half chances, or like the opportunity to fashion a chance, I feel like potentially with better attacking players, for example, João Pedro, Danny Welbeck, Minte, or Adingra, Mitoma, I feel like potentially that's something that could have been a lot different if Fulham did have the sort of like the wealth of attacking talent that we have. And I'm very curious going forward. Just not even, we can look past Brighton on the weekend, but I'm very curious as to how certain teams could punish you guys if those chances, especially on the counter, if those chances were to come up again.
Definitely, there was the one thing that we kind of asked for from last season was we were getting caught out in midfield and leaving the defence very exposed, and it was even concerning considering we're playing 4 centre midfielders that still happened a couple of times against Fulham.
Yeah,
I think that you'd nearly be a bit more secure. So there was a couple of great positioning and interceptions from Maguire and Martinez, but like you said, if there was a bit more care taken in the past, they could have easily been in. And I think, to be fair, Brighton will be living off a lot more than just a couple of random counter-attacks. Like, I think they'll have a bigger foothold in the game than Fulham would have had. So, and like you said, you mentioned some of the attacking players going forward there. I'm sure we'll get into some of them in the next segment. But yeah, a lot of threats from the Brighton side.
Speaking of the next segment, guys, I'm going to roll to ads, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about the wealth of attacking talent and just talent in general that Brighton have. So we will see you on the flip side.
Do you have a story to tell that the world needs to? Have you struggled with reaching new audiences or engaging with your story? Let me tell you about a platform we use. Zencastr, quality broadcast built from growth with 4K video recording from your phone and AI editing that automatically removes and 22 of Zencastr makes it ready to tell your story. Check out the link in it.
And we are back, guys. Someone needs to tell the guy who done the host read to sort out his microphone settings because I basically heard nothing. So anyway, no, I think you might have some questions about the upcoming game. Some Brighton themed questions that me and Bless can tackle.
Yeah, I mean, the one player that kind of stands out to me is this Minta fella on the wing. Like,
yeah,
I'm concerned. Like, how was it Newcastle to let this guy go? Like, I mean, they're crying out for a winger on that side, but yeah, let's start there and see how we get on. I mean, he had a brilliant assist there for the first goal against Everton.
Bless, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll take this one. I've been raving about this player
Right, okay, here we go.
from pre-season. I think he's a real player Brighton have got in their hands. Just at the weekend, again, we just see all of his qualities in that assist. He's very direct, really quick. But again, as I've spoken on the other pod, I think what's really impressive with him is the final part is sort of, we can sort of see it's coming along and it's there. Whether it's a cross or he's cutting in and shooting, he's really aggressive. So I wonder how, I think it probably be Dallo on that side. I wonder how Dallo is going to deal with that, because even in his pressing, he'll be right up there. But yeah, this boy I think is something special. I did say as well, by the end of September, we'll see him as Brighton's most valuable player.
Yeah, I think it's a fair shout. Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, this has actually been a Minte themed podcast for probably the first week of pre-season, the last week of pre-season. And to be honest, I think I'll actually be honest. I'm not sure if he's going to play, because he actually got hooked quite early for a concussion sub. I don't know what was going through his mind, but he's actually put in an unbelievable tackle. And in the process, he's been absolutely thumped, right? Taken off, and then he went mental at the medical team. He threw his toys out the pram a little bit. I think, I think when we spoke to the Everton guys, they also said about Minter, and the thing with that is that Newcastle let him go because of the PSR stuff. Because obviously I feel like you're not going to get much money out of Jacob Murphy. And with Almiron, you're going to have to wait for someone to be stupid enough to put in a big bid for him.
You need Saudi. Yeah.
Yeah. But sometimes Saudi don't come knocking. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes they...
You know you're in trouble then. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what, Newcastle needs Saudi a lot, because some of their players that they can't shift, who have been there from before the takeover, is obviously an issue.
It's shocking though, that really, isn't it, that they have to get rid of him to align and apply with those rules. Like, I mean, it just doesn't. I don't know. It's the same thing with Chelsea at the moment, like getting rid of all their homegrown players, like to bring in all these random lads. Like, it's just, I don't know, doesn't sit right.
Yeah, I think because we signed Gruder, I think maybe the day before or the day of the first game of the season, and I thought, I keep saying that I think that was the main target, and that Minte was an opportunistic signing, just because you can get him for probably a little bit cheaper, and they basically have to sell him to you. And I'm curious how he does, because I don't think Mikalenko's bad at all. And I think Dallo's quite good. I think he's a pretty consistent performer, especially in these sort of trying times for Man United fans. But I'm curious as to how. That wasn't a dig, by the way. I'm curious as to how he does against potentially a stronger fullback in Dallo, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, Dallo is a huge player from on our podcast. Myself and Kieran picked him as our player of the year last year. That's how bad things are last year. That a fullback that you didn't think would have any minutes at the start of the season was your best player. But I actually have great time for him now. I think that'll be a great battle, and I also think Mazraoui with Matoma will be a great battle as well. He's been a really good signing for United, really good going forward, and excellent on the ball, and a big upgrade from what we had in that fullback position. So I think both those battles will actually be great, and even if it's not Mint, if one of the other guys coming on, I think Dallo kind of enjoys that one-on-one battle as well, and he'll kind of stretch them the other way. So it should be interesting to watch.
I'm hoping that Matoma actually sends Mazraoui back to the Bundesliga, to be honest, because I don't know. We spoke about him a little bit about him before off camera, and we were never massively sure on him. But I don't know. Matoma looks sharp. He does look sharp. But one quick thing I want to ask you as well, actually, before I swing over to Bless to systematically break down how we're going to beat you on the weekend. Where is? Can we have a quick check on Malacia Watch? Because where is this guy? Where actually is he?
You're asking me.
Yeah, I'm asking you. Where is this guy? Where's he gone?
It's funny actually. We did our Wildcard Wednesday episode there yesterday, and we did top 10 Dutch players, and he was 10th for me because I was like, he's not even at the club anymore, so I have no idea what's going on.
Oh, is he not at Man
Um,
United anymore?
no, he is, but who knows? Like, I could be wearing
Oh.
like, but yeah, no, great question. So there's this Harry Amas guy, this young left back.
Oh yeah.
Great time for. So yeah, hopefully we don't need Malacia, but anyway, that's that's the story with him. Go on,
So-
Bless, you're away. Go on.
Bless. I want to hear the downfall of Man United right here, right now. Say it out to me, big man.
This is just based on purely what I've seen against Everton for us, and obviously against Fulham for United. And I think where Brighton will find their joy, and I know we've spoken about the two wingers already, will be with the 1v1s in wide areas and also overloading in wide areas. So based on Everton's game, literally at build up, there's not even that many Brighton players in the middle apart from Milner and Whiff. The rest are sort of preparing to go wide and being ready to sort of overload that space and exploit the fullback. So I think those areas are key areas for us, and we've got the players to sort of hurt United in that aspect. Where I do think it could be a little bit of an issue to get to those areas is during our build-up phase. There's a lot of times against Everton where the passes into midfield just weren't good enough, or there was one point Milner wasn't looking the right way and the ball just rolled past him. And with United players like Fernandes, who are capable of scoring from the edge of the box with ease, really, that could be a moment we shoot ourselves in the foot. But another part where I sort of thought, like, United pressing, I didn't really see much of it against Fulham as being like a full-out press. So it'd be interesting what they do. I can't imagine them sitting back. And at the end of the day, it's Manchester United against Brighton. I can't imagine them sitting back. But if they do press, I think we are on for really interesting games where there are going to be loads of opportunities for our wingers to attack. And lots of goals for Brighton, I hope.
Yeah, I'm surprised Milner's still moving at that age. Like, but I mean, he's sitting at the.
He's not really, to be honest.
Yeah. But no, I think it's. I think United probably will press. They seem to press aggressively with like a 6, but then that's the issue, is that it's only a 6 and there's still the back four are hesitant to go with them. So if they do get past that initial press, I think we could be in a bit of bother. But I think they will aggressively press. You have Bruno and Mount. I think they'll start again probably with them two, interchanging between false 9 and 10 again with that kind of 4 in midfield. And Mount just loves running, so I can imagine they will be pressing quite hard. And we'll see. We'll see if they can get any joy from it, and then if Brighton can get out, then I'm sure they'll get joy as well, being 1-on-1.
You mentioned about the back four not coming up with the 6. Do you think that's because of a lack of pace?
Yeah, I don't know. Like last year, I felt like, well, you know, you're nearly safer if you all go up together, though, because at least you're all at the halfway line. It just makes no sense to have a gap. So I don't know if it was a conscious decision for the back four to stay, because it makes no sense. You want your team, whether they're pressing high or whether in a low block, to be tight. But they were neither. They were just half and half. So I think pace is maybe a bit of a concern, but Dallo and Mazraoui and Martinez are all fast. It's just the other centre half, whether it's Maguire or De Ligt, is not absolutely lightning. But I wouldn't be too concerned about the pace. It's just, it felt like they weren't cohesive as a unit. There was a bit of a gaps there in midfield.
God, I need to get you to some. I need to get you to like one of those Sky Sports like thing with the arrows and all of this, so you can move the players around. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I literally just didn't say anything. I was just watching, loved it. So we're gonna go to a break, and then the last segment, what we've all been waiting for, the combined 11.
Yeah,
we had an absolute howler last week. We need to rectify this. Okay, I've spoke my piece on the Everton team. They're trash. That's why I've spoke my piece, but.
You need to leave PSV and Everton alone.
But after the break, we will talk about the combined 11. So we will see you on the flip side.
Let's see if the ad reader has his microphone with him this time.
Podcast Network, the only network bringing you exclusive daily news and views on your Premier League team, the Premier League, women's football, and fantasy football. A unique listening experience that puts the fans first, bringing you the very latest breaking news from your team. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and make us your first listen every day. Global Sports Podcast Network. Every club, every day.
And we are back for the final segment, guys. It's combined 11 time. Everyone loves a combined 11. I love it. Bless loves it. Niall loves it. We all love it. So, also remember, follow us on all social media at GSPN Brighton, and also subscribe to us and give us 5 stars so we can pay for a better mic for the host reader. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're going to start in goal. A quick caveat. So the rules are the player has to be fit, so basically in training or whatnot. So, for example, no Lenny Euro because he's injured.
I'm going to cross out Malacia then.
Yeah, so Manasseh will not be making any appearances in this. So, Niall, if you want to start in with the goalie. So, obviously, we've got... So, Verbruggen didn't start, but he's injured. So, we can't have Verbruggen. So, it's Jason Steele or Onana.
I'm going to go with Pickford.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we're not struck with luxury options
We
right
just
now.
started right back.
So, to be honest, whoever goes in, it's not.
Right,
it's not a good start, is it?
I'll go with Onana just because I'm meant to be representing United here.
If you don't laugh, you cry. Do you know what I mean?
I want to say Jason Steele, but I just can't do it. I'm going to keep football integrity and say Onana.
Okay. I'm also going to say Onana. I'm sure us Brighton fans that are listening are not going to agree because they're going to want every single position to be a Brighton player. But we're going to move swiftly on to right back. So are you going to put forward Mazraoui or are you going for Dalot? Because you can't have Luke Shaw on the other side. So
Yeah, based off Ten Hag's team the last day, I'll go with Mazraoui for right back.
Okay, so for us, we have Joel Veltman to put on the table. So we have.
Is he not a centre half? No.
Yeah, he is a centre half. Yeah, but he played him right back in the first game. Because Tariq Lamptey, I don't know. This is an anti-Tariq Lamptey podcast.
Don't do it. He's with Malacia.
Yeah, he is with Malacia. Yeah. Right. So, Bless, what are you thinking, Mazraoui or Veltman?
It's a tricky one because I do like Veltman, but I'm going to go Mazraoui.
Okay, so we're going Mazraoui. I take it you're going to agree now.
Kicked out of the Brighton podcast next week.
Bless, we need to have words after this, mate. Danny Welbeck's not going to call you anymore after this one. So, we're going to move on to centre back. We're going to do them together. So, obviously, we're putting forward Van Hecke, JP, and JP Van Hecke and Lewis Dunk, and you're going to put forward Niall. What are you going for?
Martinez is definitely one of them, and I will go for. I'll stick with. I'll put forward Maguire because De Ligt hasn't started yet.
Oh, okay. Bless. What are you thinking?
Sorry, I missed this. So can I have one from each team?
I mean, you can have two from Brighton if you want.
Okay, so I'll go for Martinez and Dunk.
Oh, okay.
I can't argue with that. That's fine.
Right, so Martinez and Dunk is the centre-back partnership. And on the left side in left-back, who are we going for? So we can now put forward Estupiñán because he is back in training.
Oh,
so,
come on. That was sly enough now. That Come on. Well, he walked out. He walked out of the changing room onto the training pitch like, oh, Stupinian, get him in.
Yeah, as soon as I heard that, I knew that I was bringing that forward. So it's Dallo versus Stupinian or Hinchelwood.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Dallo because I'd rather a fullback that can run.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, Stupinian hasn't been able to run for a very long time, actually. But he's had his injury issues.
No, I have to stick with our player of the season. We have to double down on Dallo at the United Dailies.
Bless.
All right, just because Estepinian he's just come back, I'm going to go Dallo as well.
Okay, so we haven't even decided the formation. So obviously we got 4 at the back. What formation do you guys play? Like a 4. What even is it? What is it?
4-2-2.
Let's go with 4-2-3-1.
4-2-3-1. Okay.
Yeah.
So that suits Brighton a little bit more because I think as we go further up the pitch, we might have less United players. Yeah. So so we're going to go for the 2 in the middle. So what are you putting forward now?
I will go with. I think I've picked all United players so far, haven't I? Or
I believe so. Yeah.
So do we
you
agree on a team? Do we have to agree?
Yeah, you'd have to agree. Yeah.
Okay, right. Well, I'll put Duncan then. So Duncan Martinez centre back. Okay, so my 2 midfielders. One of them has to be Kobbie Mainoo. I wouldn't have said Casemiro, but he's, as we mentioned on our match review Monday, he keeps surprising us with actually not being washed. Like, so I'm going to go with Mainoo and Casemiro just because I'm looking at that 2 sitting midfielders for Brighton and I'm not blown away.
No. What are you going to go for, Bless? Because we've got Whiffer to go next to Kobbie Mainoo, maybe.
Yeah, I think I'll change Casemiro to Whiffer just based on that Palace performance last season.
Okay. Yeah, let's go with Mainoo and Whiffer. Yeah.
Okay. This is a very civil pod. I like it. So the front 3, what we can do is we can just go across the whole 3, or we can go one by one. So right wing.
Yeah. Let's do one by one, maybe.
Right. So you have Ahmad, and we have Minte. Right? Or was Ahmad on the left?
Yeah,
Garnacho?
I might put forward Garnacho, yeah. After me, 10 and 5 minutes talking about Minta, like.
I don't know.
Okay.
Garnacho doesn't move me, really. I'm not going to lie.
Okay, I'm going to go with that wing. I'll go with right wing. I'll go with Minta for a left footer on the right wing.
Okay, sweet. And the 10 position, I take it this is a unanimous, right? Because obviously you've got Bruno Fernandes, so.
I thought you were going Mason Mount there. Yeah, no, Bruno Fernandes.
Mason Mount might not even make the bench. I don't know. Okay, so Bruno Fernandes, Bless, you agree?
Yeah, I'm in agree with that.
Yeah, and then on the left, so this is probably the biggest one because you have someone who has a massive reputation but hasn't been able to perform, or you have someone who last season was injured but prior to that was performing at a quite high level. So,
Blessings, what do you think?
Bless, what are you going for, mate?
I'm going to go with Matoma. I just think there's a little bit more there, a little bit more of a threat this year.
I'm in agreement just because of the form of Rashford recently. I think it's been poor for quite a while. We're looking at like almost a year and a half here now.
We've always chatted about Garnacho probably being better on the left because he hasn't really got a chance because they just haven't displaced Rashford yet. So I'd like to see him play more on the left. And I think he's probably like as good, if not way more potential than Matoma, even though Matoma has a PhD in dribbling. But let's go with Matoma to keep all you fans happy on the podcast.
To be honest, the fact that even a combined 11's even possible is a massive respect to Brighton. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, okay, the striker. So you have Højlund, who is again not moving me at all. And we have the man, the myth, the legend. It's Danny
United man.
Welbeck.
Yeah.
This is a Danny Welbeck themed podcast.
What age is Danny Welbeck? Like, I mean, this is ridiculous.
I don't know what he's 33, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, 33.
Is that all?
33, yeah. Been in the league since because he must have debuted for you when he was like 17, 18, no?
That's incredible. I can't believe he's 33. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
He's
mean,
insane on the weekend.
his goal the last day was just gorgeous. Like, I mean, it was beautiful. Like, considering, okay, we'll go with Welbeck, considering we don't even play a striker. So,
Danny Welbeck is in. This podcast has been a massive success. That's all that matters. It's all that matters. Danny Welbeck, hit up Bless, right, and tell him cheers for getting me in that combined 11. Okay. Okay. So, what have we ended up on there? So we've gone Onana, Mazraoui, Dunk, Martinez, Dallo, Wiffer, Mainu, Fernandez, Matoma, Minter, Welbeck. So it's pretty even, no?
yeah.
Yeah.
Good omen.
Not
Good
bad.
omen for you. Saying a load of Everton ones in the last.
Yeah. How did that even happen? Okay. Anyway, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you on here, Niall.
Thanks very much.
It's been lovely to meet you. Can we get a quick score predictions, Niall?
2-1 United.
Bless.
2-0 Brighton, Danny Welbeck, first half goal.
Love that. So, I'm actually going to go another 3-0. I reckon it's going to be back to back.
Lad, come on.
I thought 2-0 was cheeky, but 3-0.
No, trust me. Believe in Joe.
Boys deluded at this stage. I give you a few players in the XI and now it's 3-0. Jesus.
If it happens, we will revisit, and you will also see it all over social media.
Flip it up.
Okay. Anyway, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. We are come to the end of the podcast, unfortunately, because we could talk about football for hours. But I have been your host, Joe Richardson. You have been listening to the Daily Brighton podcast, brought to you by the GSPN Network. And I have been joined by the lovely Niall and the lovely Blessed Shibamba. So, we will see you in the next episode, where we will be looking forward, a bit of tactics for the Brighton game, for the Man United game. And yeah, thank you very much, guys. Thanks for listening. We will see you tomorrow.
Every club, every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.